welcome to episode 182 of Heresy Accountability Buddies, where my mic stand is moving of its own free will. But that doesn't stop the show here. I am Jack, followed by a host of...
An unprepared Brian.
A fully unprepared Duncan.
And John handing out PDFs.
God bless a PDF. God bless a PDF. And let me go ahead and get my camera. I'm going now that I know my background is on. Yay! There I am. There we are. And welcome to episode 182 of Heresy Accountability Buddies. So we're going to do a quick station identification.
Do you love resin bases? Then go to our sponsor, Elric Hobbies, for all of your basing and basing accessory needs. Use code HeresyABB at checkout for a discount. Legendary Monument Hobbies. Monument Hobbies is a one-stop shop for all of your painting needs. Use code HeresyABB at checkout for a 5% discount on your purchase. Pop Goes the Monkey. Find maker of third-party accessory bits of arms, legs, backpacks, and more, where you can get 10% off your first order over $125 with code HeresyABB at checkout.
Identification. And thank you to our patrons. Without you, none of this is possible. Before we get any further, let's do a quick hobby update. Who wants to go first?
I'll jump on this game grenade today.
Outstanding.
This past 2 weeks, since we were off last weekend, I believe. Yeah, we were off last week. I have worked more on tanks. I've gotten all the medals down on the 3 Rhinos and the Kratos so far. I will be progressing more with that this week. There may be a little bit of a lull in work this week, knock on wood. So I can't promise a lot of effort put in, because we all know how work seems to do everybody. But I am on the right path. After that, I passed it over to Jack to see what he did for his hobby this past week and a half.
I have a question, because I don't remember, because I'm bad with names. What's the knight that is not the Forge World knight? The Titan. Sorry.
For a fire run.
No, you have the Warhound, Reaver, the Warbringer, the
Warlord,
and then the next size up of that,
the Nemesis, technically, and then the Imperator.
Okay, I think
there's that.
Emperor
one.
class.
Emperor.
No, there's that plastic one.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I'm trying to think of.
Warmonger.
Warmonger. There you go. I transported my Warmonger up to college, and got them moved in. So I no longer have a Warmonger to kick other people's models off the table.
When she started, she was just a knight size.
So. Brian, what about you, sir? What have you done?
Trying to come up with a joke that I could insert in here, but I'm not coming up with anything that would fit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go on with my bullshit. I supervised my oldest son while he was working on a dreadnought. He has started gluing for himself, which is good. And I stuck some tracks on a tank of his. I really did not do very much. I did educate a friend of mine on how to repair drywall, because he had a leak in his kitchen ceiling.
Yeah.
Ooh, that don't sound fun.
Yeah, it sucked. Yep, lots of drywall in the eyeballs.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all.
Not the kind of make it rain that you want.
Fair.
What about you, John?
Okay, so I did sell some more magic cards, but I did manage to get some hobby done in a week and a half. So I got all the suzerain that I'd had old before, got them all painted up and base coated and ready for next steps. I got all the other suzerain that I'd built and primed before. I got those brought up to the same level of those suzerains, and I have about the last 20 suzerain are all ready to go for finals, for kind of second to last and then last steps. Then I picked up the printed Mastodon. I assembled said printed Mastodon. I found out that there were some issues with it because no Mastodon can be perfect. I found this as a cosmic occurrence. God has decided that Mastodon should not be push fit. So, the printed Mastodon comes in kind of sub-assemblies. So the interior of it is basically empty, and then you have 3 interior sections that you push together. It's designed so that the interior walls of the old Mastodon would be separate. But the middle interior section has the walls permanently affixed. So the walls don't allow the other channels to line up. So I'm going to have to grind some off of the middle section to make it fit. Then on the exterior of the Mastodon, it's designed so that the buttresses fit into the lower hull with precision, like millimeter accuracy. Like you have to push it together and it groans and then it fits. Considering I wanted to be able to show off the interior, I didn't want it to be that precise, so I sanded it down a lot, and then that kind of helped. And then I walled out the holes a little bit better so that it could be easily removed.
I think it took 9 months to put my Mastodon get together. I hope it takes 9 months for you, sir.
5 hours. 5 fucking hours to finish the interior, or to finish the exterior. It was amazing. Wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like push fit, but it was not bad.
Okay.
I also magnetized the AA gun on top, and then primed the entire exterior of said Mastodon.
It's very black now.
It is very black. And you know that because I played 2 games with it today.
Yay, how'd those go?
So we use the CM missions where you get points for killing things. Suzerain are very good at killing things. Surprise. To probably no one in the world. They went like a hot knife through butter through about everything that decided to touch them. I didn't lose a single squad of Suzerain in either game. I lost most of the Predators in the first game, and then kind of drove up through my Night Lord's opponent. I was really worried because he did his little... he's got the Baneblade variant that shoots the 10-inch template of give every status -3 or -2 to your checks, and there's a Night Lord's unit nearby, so it's -3 to your checks. And so my Suzerain had all the statuses on them. And then I got charged by a tooled out terror squad and proceeded to gut them. And then kind of ran the table with them there. The next game was Militia, and there was just more Militia for me to kill than I knew what to do with. And so I kind of only won that one. The Night Lord game was really close, actually, because we were both kind of playing the other objective, which was the number of units in the other table quarters. So we were both kind of scoring that one a lot. And he had a lot more units to begin with than I do on the table, considering I only deploy 6.
Okay.
But against the Militia, he decided not to play that one as much and wanted to kill Suzerains, and so he just kept feeding Militia to Suzerains, and they just kept killing and killing.
So you're saying 30 Suzerains don't suck? And
they turns out they do not suck. Yeah, this list is mean if there's not objectives. The whole
is this the list that I came up with, or the one that you came up with?
I came up with the list, and then you kind of filled out the characters.
Oh, well, I'm sorry for whoever plays this.
Yeah.
Silly meme lists.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my hobby. I pretty much just need to finish the Suzerain and start painting on the Mastodon to get it ready for Warzone next month. And I'm sitting at 33 days to go and feeling pretty good.
Cool. Well, it does sound like we have finished up most of what we got done hobby-wise.
You want the news?
I personally would love to have the news. I know Jack is absolutely looking forward to it.
I'm indifferent.
Because at the end of this news bit, Jack and I apparently have some news to talk about as well.
What?
All right.
Jack, have you looked at your phone with that text message thread from this morning?
What?
You should definitely look at your phone and the text messages we received this morning.
No. Does it involve me doing stuff?
It probably will.
No.
Okay.
Is this the one I immediately muted when the first one came through at 7:45 this morning and woke me up? And then I was really angry?
Yes.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Carry on, John.
So we missed the release of the Orcs going up for pre-order.
I didn't miss it.
And some Skaven stuff. No one missed it. The Ogres. A bunch of that stuff kind of already is sold out, which kind of surprised me. Especially the dice and some other stuff is kind of already moved. But that's GW immediately selling stuff out. Some of the other stuff is available. A Wild Jamie appears.
Hello, Wild Jamie.
Hey.
Next week, we'll be getting the Custodes.
Again?
Yay. Yeah, more Custodes.
Yeah, so we're getting Custodes support battle group. So this includes the Telemon, 4 jet bikes, and their little Palace-Grav attack vehicle.
Their faux saber tank.
That actually, if you already have jet bikes and you need a new weapon for it, that might not actually be a good way of getting the new weapons along with the Palisade, which from my understanding doesn't suck. And the Telemundo, just like the TV. Like that, from my understanding, in looking at the rules, can be a decent fire support platform.
Yep.
I'm not sure the Custodes have anything that's inherently bad right now.
The jetpack guys, are they okay?
Yep.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not. I mean, nothing in Custodes is. I mean, other than like Centurion or their characters in combat are godlike. But
you can put the jetpack guys. Their saves suck, but you can put the lances on them, and so they can hit like a freight train.
Yeah.
And you can also give them that Eternal Warrior buff if you want to be an asshole. And we're also getting the Prospero Burns book. Contains a huge amount of background information for the assault on Tizca.
You're my Tizca.
Plus new game scenarios, game rules, extra units, and a brand new army list for Zinch demons.
Okay. More dice.
Custodians are also getting dice. And Old World's getting a bunch of boxes. And we're getting a new Black Library novel for the Heresy.
Yep.
All about Raldoron.
Raldo who? Raldo.
Yep. And it's getting a fancy edition, of course.
Is he jaundiced in that fancy edition?
He looks a little pale.
Well, his eyes are yellow, so
I think that's just the fancy cover. They just golded his eyes.
Notice the armor's black and gray. He didn't really wear it.
We had a couple drops from the Black Books. So the 20th, we got the Warp Cults. So background from the Kalth book. And then this week, we got the Edge of Ruin extra stuff.
On the edge of ruin.
Yep. Of course you are, Jack.
Displate finally dropped some more Heresy artwork.
That's
this time from the cover of The End of the Death. You can, of course, order it in the fanciest of editions for if you're a Jack. Large textured version is only $114.
I do have one observational comment that I want to make about that. That is a lot of landscape on that piece of image that is
black.
Shadowed, dark, shadowy black. Yeah, I mean it doesn't.
It's like charcoal black right there.
The weirdest part is his signature is in the black, and it kind of looks like they textured it because there's a little bit of a reflection in the 3D-ish.
Textured for his pleasure.
Sure. All right. Sorry, I just had to make that observational comment.
Oh, you're good. Warhammer merch dropped some more flags. So this time we got the Raven Guard. We got the Word Bearers. We got the Iron Hands. And we got the Space Wolves.
Look, okay. Don't know about that one.
No upside down bolters in sight or banana fur, but yeah, the
mouth
skull is very
kind
odd.
of weird, and the colors too. I don't know.
Yep. They also dropped a bunch of Joy Toy Casserkins, so if you want to build your Helldiver in plastic, you can, including Melt the Mine.
We have Helldiver at home.
The greatest durable weapon. They also dropped a whole bunch of desk mats that we've seen before on Merchoid. So the Loyalist and Trader desk mats. The Galaxy desk mat sold out almost immediately. And then the desk banner that we've seen forever ago from them, I guess, finally hit GW. So they finally started stocking this random piece of metal with a printed Ultramarine sticker on it. Jack will be getting 4.
Of course he will.
I can make those at home.
He'll also be getting whatever comes next. I'm pretty sure.
Because Jack loves the orcs.
Is that a bucket hat?
Jack, it gets better.
That
Jack,
fits.
I know you need.
No, I don't.
An orc bandana.
No, I don't.
For the simple cost of $10.50.
Nope, I'm good.
It's actually not too bad.
What about a canvas belt for $28?
That's a little excessive.
I'm good.
A bucket hat for $50?
No.
Can I shit in it?
Probably
how about a Gaz Cold T-shirt for $58?
No.
That's ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
What about the best part, Jack?
There's no best part.
You're a man of time, right? You don't have a lot of time on your hands. You want to save time by clicking all in one.
Are you saying I'm going to die?
No.
Are you threatening me?
You're doing a lot of hobby work, Jack. You don't have a lot of time to waste.
I think that was a threat, Jack.
You don't want to waste your time clicking all these buttons.
Oh my god!
You want to click the one all-in-one purchase, right?
I feel like you're spending more money on an all-in-one purchase than items
yes,
separately.
You are.
I'm not a smart man.
But it's a bundaroo.
So, gentlemen, what do you think these things cost together versus what they cost all in one?
Well, obviously, actually, hang on. What's the largest size available in a T-shirt?
3X.
Okay,
not gamer sized.
So it's not Heresy or 40K player size. All right.
Yeah.
Counting all of it together, I'm going to guess 54, 28, 20. I don't know, 112, 120.
It's not guessing, the math.
Yeah, 146 is the total if you buy it all separately. 154 if you buy it with one button.
Oh, cool. $8 handling.
Yeah. Plus shipping and all that other stuff that they tack on top too. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something Jack is definitely going to jump on top of.
Oh my god.
It's the reverse bundle deal.
Well, orc players are dumb. So.
Oh, that hurts.
We didn't say he lied.
That
this
hurt.
is how we get canceled. Hate crimes against orc players.
Oh my god.
Only took 182 episodes.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Have they done anything crazier other than that?
No, that was it this week. Sorry.
Man,
just the bundle.
We gave them an extra week to come up with some nonsense to hurt Jack's soul, and this is all they could come up with.
Yep.
No emerald necklace that cost $5,082.
No.
Why?
Oh man. Okay. Well, what's next?
Next, I found some kind of cool Kickstarters, and we got some other news. Rogue Sculpts Omnibus Grimdark STLs has a bunch of Russes for fairly cheap. So for $65, you get access to this trench line,
Okay.
And a bunch of cool not Russes. And not artillery tanks. And freighters and crates and a bunch of other stuff. And then should you choose to back this Kickstarter, you can also add some of his previous stuff, like his train, his tactical dice, amphibious assault vehicles, boats, planes, more defensive things.
So planes, trains, and automobiles?
And creepy cats. So there's a bunch of add-ons for this project should you choose to back it.
Okay.
Neat.
War Games Atlantic is starting to roll out more of their damned infantry. So they've got a 24 multi-part hard plastic model set. A bunch of cultists with different types of guns. They've got
And I want to make note, that's not John calling them the damned infantry. That's actually what they're called.
That's the name, yeah.
They've got a female infantry set, which is, again, 24 model. Oops, sorry. The female infantry set, which is 24 models.
Cool.
And then a damned brutes, which are not ogres. And with a variety of different weapons, 9 models in the box. War Games Exclusive is starting to do STLs of some of their older sculpts. So some people may remember this back from when they kind of started up. They had these kind of neat looking servitor guys.
Okay.
So they've 3D scanned them so you can print them yourself.
Cool. I remember seeing that years ago.
Yep, way back in the ancient times.
Yeah.
Mordian has published some new previews for what they're calling their Misters of Battle Range. These are half Trench Crusade, half 40k-ish. They look like ogres with sci-fi fantasy art stuff.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Some of those look a little weird, but all right.
I like the hammer on that
It's
one
Bane.
dude.
Yeah, I like that hammer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that Flamberge sword, but
yeah, the Flamberge chainsword. I don't know how that would work.
But yeah,
not very well.
No binding there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke. I did like that kneeling, the kneeling sculpt.
Yeah,
that looks kind of interesting.
I wish we could kind of see the front of it too, but it is very detailed for what we do see on the sides and the back of it. He's got enough grenades and pouches and books and trench knives to outfit a squad.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And you don't have to glue all that crap on. It's just on.
Yeah, that is nice.
We got one more Kickstarter that I saw. This is called The Water World. Did you want to play ZM Under the Sea?
Yes, SpongeBob SquarePants.
You know, I never even thought about that, but that would be something kind of neat.
So for $69, this guy has a bunch of corridors, rooms, scanning bays, med bays.
We have Subnautica at home. That's what this looks like.
That's like...
It really does.
Especially when you look at the submarine. When we get down to it.
Yeah, this is Subnautica.
That's a sea truck right there, buddy.
Yep.
I mean, neat. I'm glad that someone has decided to capitalize on something that everyone's been crying for.
So the realistic, if you use this as a train for ZM, is that you're not actually printing out a bunch because there's no point in putting the tops and stuff on them unless you just want to show off.
That's probably how I would do it. Yeah.
All right.
For those that didn't know, My Mini Factory is doing their summer sale. So use code SUMMER26 to save up to 50% on SDLs. Maybe find some bits you like in there. We're not going to link you to any of them. And finally, everyone posting new episode tomorrow can finally be happy that they're getting a new episode on the 28th of August of Space King, Greatest Man in Space.
Space.
I will admit I am looking forward to that just for the sheer absurdity of it.
And on the same day, they're launching their Kickstarter for the Space King board game.
Yep.
Which we will obviously cover when it comes available.
If you sign up, don't you? What did you get if you sign up?
You get a pin. So if you go to the Space King website
it's the Be Positive pin. That's what it was. Yeah. I started rewatching all the episodes the other day.
Yeah, I need to do that.
That friggin' long. So yeah, like the last episode was a Christmas episode, people.
Yep. So they've put out 2 trailers. We're not going to play them here, but they are really in depth, and it kind of shows you why it took them 6 months to make an episode. It is.
No, we're pushing 9 now.
Yeah.
It was taking them a couple of years at first because there's so much going on with it.
Yeah.
I hope because there had to develop like new animation stuff because the way the episodes are supposed to go, this new episode they're making goes like it's like kind of like on a giant land train that the preceding episodes are not preceding, but the episodes after it are released a little bit quicker after they've developed all that animation.
Yep. Well, we'll see how it goes. I look forward to it no matter what.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that, gentleman, is all the news.
Huzzah, the news.
Huzzah.
So, what shall our topic be this evening, gentlemen? I know we had 2 that we were possibly willing to discuss. One being the Titan rules and mission stuff. And I think that's something that deserves a good look at, since that's what John's already sent out to people. So, can we do that?
Hold on, Duncan. I thought you said that you had something to talk about.
Oh, yes. I do need to mention this. Apparently, Jack, predominantly Jack, due to the conversation that has been had in text messages back and forth by myself and someone else.
Jack is not doing shit.
Since Jack didn't choose to participate, he's the one who's been voluntold that this is going to happen.
Good luck to that. I support you.
I support you too. I'm glad that you're going to be here to do this. Apparently, there's going to be a series of Heresy events run in Lexington, Kentucky sometime next year. Dates are utterly up in the air and to be determined. Location is going to be at a place called Awesome Inc. These events will all be handcrafted events, narrative missions, lovingly created by our wonderful host, Jack, who is going to put so much elbow effort into these missions.
Dear Alexa, could you please write me how many missions do I need?
16.
Dear Alexa, could you please write me 16 missions for Horus Heresy 30K 4th edition?
4th edition. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's Jack and I kind of got voluntold that this is going to happen because people want it to happen. And so we might be involved in this somehow. I don't know how the thing is going to work yet. Because I haven't gotten my questions answered.
Oh, God.
But I can safely say that Jack will probably try to do as little of this as possible and try to avoid this as much as he possibly can. Which is fair. He works way too much.
So...
And I specifically said to the person who is contacting us that I could not speak for Jack at all. So I do not want to pretend that... Okay, I'll pretend, but I'm not going to flat out say that, yeah, Jack's going to have anything at all to do with this. But
I'll be there to provide moral support to you.
Thank you, Jack. As always, your moral support is wonderful and very helpful.
Yeah.
When the event time comes and Jack's not there, you can say he just stepped out for milk and cigarettes.
Awesome.
Well, my question is, how certain is it that I'm going to be there? Because I don't have a clue yet. I don't even know when this is happening. I just know it's a couple times next year.
Awesome Inc. is a place down in downtown Lexington that do 40K tournaments on the regular, from my understanding. And they have a lot of space. It's like an artist compound type situation. Don't know. But yeah, so they have plenty of room.
Yeah. And apparently we won't have to be the ones to supply the terrain or the mats or really anything, supposedly.
I'll support this.
Keywords, supposedly.
I support this. Then.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what are we talking about tonight?
Titans in the Age of Darkness.
Okay.
So Titans are different. Probably the easiest way to say that. The Titan army list gives you a whole new primary detachment called the Titan Ordinal. If you do this, you don't have to do your 25 points for your Lord of War restriction that you're used to. They only get access to this primary detachment, which is just a Lord of War, a High Command, 4 troops, and 4 transports. In the Titan list, there are Secutarii. These are the old Forge World add-ons to the Scutari add-ons, as well as a Triaros for your transport. You also get a Secutarii Axiarch, which is basically the GW Marshal, Scutari Marshal. Except he comes with a lance and a shield, which you get from the Scutari upgrade kit. Which you can swap to the weapons that he comes with in the plastic model, which is the Power Sword or Arc Maul. We're not going to go over the Scutarii or the Axiarch. We're going to talk about mainly the Titans themselves. They have a lot of rules that are very special to them. They ignore all difficult, dangerous, and if they can move through impassable terrain, they can ignore impassable terrain. They cannot stop on it. They can shoot all their guns at different targets without worrying about snapshots. They may only react to Titans, Knights, or super heavy subtype that is attacking a weapon that is attacking a Titan with a weapon that is range strength 10 or more. So you may not react to other things that are shooting at you. So if you're being shot with a Baneblade and they don't shoot the Demolisher Cannon at you, you can't react to it. They have their own special rules for close combat. And they can never gain any tactical or cyberthurgic statuses. This is not like super heavies where you can accidentally give it to them through the close combat weapons or through shock or things like that. You cannot get statuses. They cannot be affected by any psychic weapons or psychic powers or psychic reactions, and may never be targeted by the Battlesmith rule. They never block line of sight to other models. Line of sight can be drawn through them to other units. However, models can still target Titans and draw line of sight to them normally. Furthermore, a Titan does block line of sight to other parts of the same model. So a model that can only target the head profile if it can draw line of sight to it and cannot ignore the Titan itself in this instance. So if you can only see the head, you can shoot the head. This is important when we talk about other things.
There's some jokes.
Titan's armor facings are not tied to specific arcs on the model, and a model with the Titan subtype does not have a front, side, or rear armor facing. Instead, the Titan has a primary and exposed armor facing on each of its profiles. Most attacks will hit the primary facing, regardless of the direction from which the attack originates. And the exposed facing is only used when a special rule or result of a damaged table, which we'll get to, allows the attacking player to specifically target it. Titans never count as holding, controlling, or contesting an objective of any kind. And can never trigger secondary objectives that do not specify that they can be triggered by a Titan. So if they kill something, they do not get kill points for it.
Okay, that to me sounds kind of detrimental to how the game works, but I'm following.
Yep. Titan weapons are divided into classes. There are tactical Titan weapons. These are usually the small defensive weapons. If a weapon is set as tactical, it is always considered to be a defensive weapon with the assault trait. These are usually little bolt cannons, defense or auto cannons, or defense las cannons. They will have a tactical trait on their profile. Strategic weapons are usually what you see on their arms or packs. Larger weapons such as the Quake Cannon, Macro Gatling Blaster, or Apocalypse Missile Launcher. And then finally, there are Titan Strike weapons. These are their close combat weapons, but can also be used to make shooting attacks. They may only target enemy models with the Titan or Knight subtype, or any other model with 10 wounds. With more than 10 wounds, pardon. So you can't walk over and punch a Space Marine or Militiaman.
Well, that sucks.
These weapons have an extremely short range and make hit tests using the same rules as ranged attacks. To make up for these shortcomings, they cause more damage.
All right.
Those weapons now, the strategic weapons require you to make what they call strategic attacks. And they means they have to target strategic targets. Usually this is something not represented on the battlefield and is part of the missions, which we'll get into. When attacking the things off the table, basically, you use your base ballistic characteristics of the model when making the attack. If the strategic weapon has the blast special rule, the result hit test made for the weapon are made at +1. If you glance something off the table, no roll is made on the damage table, but instead the strategic target suffers damage equal to half the damage characteristics of the weapon.
All right.
Titan firing arcs are kind of like knights. So you draw a center line down them. Everything to the front is the front. Everything to the rear is the rear. Most of their weapons are going to be front mounted, but they're also bore mounted weapons on the Warbringer. A bore mounted weapon can shoot. It's a 6-inch cylinder right down the middle of the Titan. It's basically 3 inches to either side of the gun. Anything in that can be shot. Carapace mounted weapons can only shoot things that are more than 12 inches away from the Titan. And strategic arm weapons may only shoot things that are more than 6 inches away from the Titan.
Okay.
So just hide underneath of it. Got it.
So basically, you cannot shoot anything that's already dancing around on your feet or at your feet.
Unless you're using the
like
tactical weapons.
Yeah, the tactical weapons.
Okay,
yeah,
so the big guns can't basically chew up the ground at their feet, but the tactical weapons can.
Yep. That's why they're there. Is there's just to shoot the chaff.
Okay.
A Titan may not be selected to make a charge during the charge subphase. Though it can be the target of a charge by another unit. Anything that would force the Titan to charge doesn't work. If charged by an enemy unit, a Titan may make volley attacks with its defensive weapons at its full ballistic skill. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so a Titan cannot charge another equally sized Titan?
Correct. Because it's extra move. Basically.
Okay.
You walk into combat.
Of course you do. All right. Sorry. Keep going.
Like, yeah.
Titans. In the fight subphase, a Titan may be engaged by enemy models, and enemy models may have their attacks directed against it, but a Titan can never make attacks during the fight subphase against any model. Enemy models that do not have the Knight or anti-grav subtypes may only direct attacks to the Titan's legs.
Sure.
If the Titan is engaged by enemy models that are part of a combat, it inflicts D3+1 Strength 10 AP2 damage 4 hits on all units, friendly and enemy, in that combat that do not include models with the Titan, Knight, or anti-grav subtype, after all other attacks have been made. So it's like initiative 0.
Okay,
It's not considered to have a real initiative, though.
So it basically just shakes and things fall off.
Yeah.
It stomps.
Yeah. Okay. And when it does that, everything around it that's in combat with it, or in combat with units that are in combat with it, gets stepped on.
Yep.
But those the Titan's stomps, for lack of a better word, do not count for purposes of combat res.
Okay.
The Titan can make no resolution subphase.
Well, I don't think it's going to break. I don't think it can chase anything down.
Yeah, and everything's going to be too close to be gunned down. So yeah.
Okay.
A Titan cannot technically be locked in combat, and in the following movement phases, the enemy can walk out of combat with it.
Sure.
When you are targeting a Titan, the attacking player must declare which of the Titan's profiles is the target of a shooting attack. So, to make this a little easier, let's picture a Warlord or a Warhound. That'll probably be the easiest one to look up. The Titan's stats are broken down into multiple pieces. In the instance of a Warhound, you have head, carapace, arms, and legs. Each one of these has its own rules. The legs are what give it movement. The arms are what give it a ballistic skill. And each of these sections has their own hull point values.
So, CBT, baby. CBT. I mean, that's literally what this... It's like a mini sub-game just for Titans that's basically, Battletech.
Yep.
Okay,
that's
so
what this is.
It's a little bit like that.
So using this Warhound as an example, his head has 14 armor
and 8 hull points.
But okay, what's the difference? Because maybe you said this and maybe it glazed over when you were saying a lot of words. What's the difference between primary army and armor and exposed armor again?
I don't think he's gotten to that yet.
Okay,
I have not gotten to that yet.
So I didn't miss it. Okay, thank God. There's so many words you have said.
Oh yeah, no, it's we're on page 2 of 5, Jack.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Okay.
So when you target a Titan, you pick which thing you're shooting at.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you have to be able to see it.
I mean, it's a Titan. It's over the entire table.
Yeah, remember earlier, if you can only see the head, you can only shoot the head. So if a Warhound is hiding behind a building, you might not be able to see its legs.
So I have seen Adepticon has occasionally had terrain that is big enough to hide even Warlord Titans behind. Like they had big like monasteries and.
Yeah, that's primarily Yep.
The downside is if you shoot the head, you may only make snapshots at the head. If you try to punch the head, you are considered weapon skill 1.
And what would be punching the head? Another Titan?
Another Titan or an anti-grav unit. So your assault marines could jump up and throw melta bombs at its head.
Here comes that
Sanguinius charging through the...
Here comes Sanguinius charging through the smoke. Here come the jet bikes with thunder hammers and power fists.
What about like a crap ton of saber tanks with neutron cannons on them? That's always my favorite.
Are those anti-grav?
They're not anti-grav.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be shooting whatever you choose, and if you shoot the head, it's ballistic skill snapping only.
Oh yeah.
Okay, carrying on.
Interesting.
If you're targeting the... go ahead.
So aircraft are they considered anti-grav?
No, they're considered...
They don't have anti-grav.
So you can't combat the Titan with a plane, which you can't combat with a plane anyway.
I think it doesn't have straight.
Okay.
If you're shooting the Titan with a blast weapon, you pick the profile. Regardless of which sections of the Titan are actually covered by the marker, you just hit that profile. You can technically scatter off the Titan, but if you hit the Titan, you only hit that profile.
So, Warhound Titan with the head pushed all the way forward. you hit a blast on it on the head, but in reality you're aiming for the carapace. So even if the blast template is only on the head, you would still hit the carapace.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if you're shooting the legs and you scatter off onto barely nicking the flamethrower that's posed funny, you hit the legs.
Okay. What if this warhound is on a sky shield? How does that work?
With void shield generator.
Then I think at that point you hit the void shield.
Okay.
All right. We're getting to what Jack cares about. How do you damage this thing?
Yes, that's important.
Quick question though.
Yep.
Can I park my rapier batteries on the Titan's base and use their void shields?
No.
No.
It wasn't that. It was Contemptor Dreads. It was a Raven Guard and a Thousand Suns, if I remember correctly, because they wanted...
No, it was Maluk. I think there was some rapier batteries. Either way, when you're attacking a Titan, if you didn't specify where you're targeting, you're going to hit legs.
Okay, so I was to say I have my heavy weapon squad of las cannons. I'm shooting your Titan, rolling some dice. I automatically hit legs.
Yep.
Okay. And to hit the legs, I'm shooting at weapons ballistic skill 1.
No.
Okay.
If you're not targeting the head specifically, you target at normal ballistic skill.
So then I'm hitting on yada yada. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
When you damage a part, if the armor penetration test results in a penetrating hit, then the current value of that profile's hull points are reduced like normal. If you score a glancing hit and the profile has not been crippled, then the roll is made on the Titan damage table. So glances roll on the Titan damage table, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
Unless it's been crippled. If it has been crippled, then it's treated as a penetrating hit instead, but the damage is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1.
All right.
To show that the area is already damage saturated, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The Titan damage table is 1 through 4 is armor scarred. The Titan profile loses 1 hull point, regardless of damage or special rolls. 5 through 6, the Titan loses no hull points, but suffers an additional effect determined by the profile that was attacked. If you attack the head, the Titan may not make multiple shooting attacks in a given shooting phase until the end of the controlling player's next turn. If you targeted the carapace's profile's ballistic skill characteristic is reduced by 1 until the end of the controlling player's next turn. If you don't have a ballistic skill, treat this as an armor scar. If you target the arms profile is reduced by ballistic skill 1. If you target the legs, the Titan's movement characteristic is reduced by 2.
Oh no, my warhound is only going 18 instead of 20. Oh no.
Okay, so according to this, it also says that characteristics modified are cumulative, but cannot take you below a 1.
Yep.
So in that case, if you took like multiple system burnouts on the legs, you could actually reduce it down slow.
Right.
Yes.
But you wouldn't do hull points by doing so. You would just keep slowing it down. Okay.
If you... So let's keep with our warhound. Let's say you're targeting the legs. Mm-hmm. The 14 armor legs.
Mm-hmm.
After you've reduced all 10 of those hull points, that section is considered to be crippled. Each one of these sections has their own rules for when they're crippled.
Of course they do.
Okay.
If you cripple the head, the Titan may not make shooting attacks if it moved in that turn.
All right.
If you cripple the carapace, it reduces the range strength of all strategic weapons on all of the Titan's profile by 1, and that Titan may no longer make reactions of any kind. So you're not reacting to other Titans.
Okay.
this also adds to the reactor cascade, which we'll get to in a little bit. If you cripple the arms, the Titan may only snap shoot. If you cripple the legs...
We call it Lieutenant Dan.
You reduce its movement by 5. And it may not rush. And it's increased cost to pivot, which we didn't get into, but I don't think it was up there.
Okay. So let's say that you have shot my Warhound Titan, using the same example, in the left arm enough to have punched through.
No. Arms. It's not left or right. It's just arms.
Okay, so let's say you have shot my Warhound Titan in the arms enough to reduce it through the hull points to where it's now in the crippled state.
Yep.
Then you shoot it still more enough in the arms to reduce all of those hull points.
So if a profile is crippled and has more hits allocated to it, then any armor penetration tests are made against the exposed armor value, rather than the primary armor value. If any damage is inflicted upon a critical profile, it does not reduce the hull points characteristics of the profile to a negative value, but instead you roll on the Titan critical table. So you're shooting the arms, armor value 12, so easier target.
Sure.
You've stripped off all 8 hull points. Now it's armor 10. Should you pin that armor 10, then we roll on the Titan critical table. If the attack that caused this roll had a strength 8 or less, then it's counting as having a damage characteristics of 1, regardless of the weapon's actual damage characteristic. Armor Breaker and Armor Bane don't work. If the attack that caused this has an Armor Breaker X or Armor Bane, then add +1 to this result, unless it's less than strength 8, or strength 8 or less. If the attack has a strength greater than 10, roll 2 dice on this table, but discard the lowest result.
Question.
Yep.
Using that heavy weapon last cannon squad, I'm shooting at the arms of the Warhound Titan. I roll hot. Every single last cannon hits.
Yep.
Okay. Then I roll for damage, and I just have the luck of the Irish with it, and they all damage. So I burn through the first 8 hull points, going through armor value 12. Do the rest of that dice pool, does that continue to damage the exposed armor at 10, or does it just stop at that point because you've already gone through the primary armor into exposed armor, and now it's a different rule set? Like, how does carryover damage work? There you go. That's a better way of asking it.
I think you broke John.
I had to scroll back up to try to find this because there was something about fire groups. All fire groups from a unit or attacks from a model in combat must target the profile declared. A number of restrictions to apply to profiles of Titan. I don't think it says.
Okay.
Because if it does, it's not.
Because if you go through the first armor, the exposed armor from what I'm just seeing on the Warhound is always less. Yeah. So that damage pool would guarantee to go through the lower value armor.
I'm pretty sure it falls off. I don't think it continues going through.
So
then he fires his missiles that are the next gun batch.
Yep. And then I wouldn't shoot missiles at it because they're strength 8 or less, and you would get negatives on this.
No, table. if you're already at 10 armor, so 8.
Yeah, no, it's if you're strength 8 or less rolling on this table, it is not as nice.
Okay, I'm following.
Okay.
On this table. Go ahead.
So this is for after you've gone through all the hull points on the regular and all the hull points on the damaged.
There is no damaged hull points. The second you strip that armor off, you start rolling. The second you strip the primary armor hull points off.
Yeah.
This thing has no more hull points. If you pin the armor exposed value, you immediately start rolling on this table.
Okay.
So
I think you should have to take more hull points off because this table gets bad quick.
But
especially when you're looking at things like specifically targeting arms or things like that.
Okay. Right then.
I have issues,
the table,
but okay.
Yeah, so do I. The table. 1 through 4, nothing happens. Remember that you can modify this table with your Armor Bane. You can also modify this table with the things that we saw earlier in Crippled and or the Glancing table. 5 through 6 is structural damage. No immediate effect, but add +1 to all future rolls on this table. When attacking any profile. So if you pin, if Jack is shooting his last cannons for a second time, and he decides, I've already stripped the arms off, now I'm going to go for the legs because I just want to cripple this thing a lot. He would get more roll. He would get these bonuses for the other parts of the body. Secondary explosions is 7 through 19.
Okay, wait. When rolling the attack, okay.
So you're going to have to keep adding up the structural damage hits on the Titan to get to this modifier.
Okay, so the way this looks to me is I have, again, using Jack's example, he's fired his 10 last cannons, he's taken off the armor, we're now on the structure. He fires the 10 last cannons again next turn, he again hits with all 10. He again causes hull point damage, or he penetrates the armor with all 10 of those shots a second time. Then each of those would roll individually on the table.
Yeah,
and
one at a time.
Strength 9, they don't have a -1.
They get a correct, but they get a +1 because they have Armor Bane.
Okay.
So Jack's rolling 1d6 at a time, consulting this table every time.
Okay.
So off the bat, Jack is probably rolling 1 through 4 a lot.
Right.
So nothing happens. Jack gets a couple, let's say he gets 3 hot dice and gets 5 through 6. So the first one, he rolls a 5, structural damage. Add +1 to his future rolls. Jack rolls another 5, structural damage, +1. Jack rolls another 5, now it's a 7. Get it? Because 5 +1 +1.
1 + 1. Okay. So now it's a 7.
Now it's a secondary explosion. Each section has its own secondary explosion special rules. If Jack rolls a 20 or more, the Titan is dead.
Roll a 20 on a d6. Just making sure everybody understands this.
Correct.
Because I can read that, but rolling a 20 on a d6, because the way that the rules are laid out, you can compound upon previous damage. And so as you roll them one by one, which at this point you should do the BattleTech trick if this is something that you're playing a lot, and have each individual dice into a little fishing tackle box, and that way you can just sit there and count them up. But I digress. So you could theoretically get a 20 on a d6.
Correct.
Yes, and that's more so that people that are listening can understand this. So as the damage as the damage builds upon itself, you get more buffs to your damage roll, and the worse it gets for the Titan.
Yep.
So you really should not, once you start punching in, you should really not be rolling batch dice on this for pools.
You can't.
You should be rolling each of the penetrations as a solo.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
But in this case, you want to, I guess, roll, instead using this same example, you want to roll with the missiles first, since apparently the damage doesn't, in a fire group, that doesn't, so you'd want to save your last cannon for hopefully an already
punching the whole time,
damaging an already crippled component.
Okay. All right, I'm following so far. It's a little different than, very different than before, but I'm following.
This is his own mini game.
Correct. Everything we've done in Heresy is to speed the game up, and then you put a Titan on the table and the game crunches.
Okay, so you said a moment ago explosions.
Yep.
Secondary explosions.
7 through 19. Yep. Secondary explosions. Each section has their own secondary explosion. If it's the head,
shot the Titan in the arms.
You want to go the arms first, or you want to do each one individually?
Let's
just make it make sense, because people can go back and look at the different groups. So we're just building upon this one example as we go through. So arms.
Yep. Okay. So we're stacking arm hits. Then we get a secondary explosion on the arms. It's called weapon break. All strategic weapons on one arm are rendered inoperable. This is where we were just shooting arms, period. Now we magically blew one off. Not the one we could see, probably, but because this game's weird. Either left or right, whichever is closest to the nearest model in the attacking unit is selected, and all strategic weapons on that arm may no longer be used for the remaining duration of the battle.
And the strategic weapon would be the turbo laser destruct. That's a strategic weapon, okay. Or the flamer, or whatever it is.
Yep. If you've already broken that arm, it's considered structural damage.
Okay, so...
What the fuck, structural...
So structural damage is... That's when you roll on the previous chart, right? Where you got a 1 to 4 and it didn't matter? And a 5 or 6 cause...
5 or 6 is a +1.
Okay, so that helps you get to your 20.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So if Jack is lighting that left arm up, because that's all he can see, he's going to keep blowing that left arm off, and every time he blows it off, it's going to hurt the rest of the Titan more.
And it's going to add +1 onto the stacked rolls.
So there is a way that I can never destroy that other arm depending on how stuff is positioned on the board.
Correct.
Okay. But I can sure to hell blow the hell off of that first arm.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, let's say, okay, I'm done shooting at the arm because I've taken that arm off and I can't do anything else. So you're going to start picking on some other target. Let's say the carapace.
Sure.
The carapace secondary explosion is every time this result is caused, the Titan's controlling player must roll 1 dice. On a 1 through 5, then the penalties of the crippled carapace are increased by 1.
Okay. So that means on a 1 through 5, I'm going to stack a single damage extra onto my next damage die roll.
That's the one that says, in the instance of carapace, reduce the range strength of weapons.
Okay.
Or add more to reactor cascade if you don't have weapons. In our Warhammer example.
Okay.
On a 6.
If it's the result of that was 1 through 5, but if you roll that hot 6, the Titan explodes, causing a strength 16 AP2 damage 10 hit to any models within 6 inches of any part of the Titan. A strength 6 AP3 damage 4 hit to anyone within 12 inches. And a strength 4 AP dash damage 1 hit to all other models on the battlefield.
Yeah, so I blow up a Warhound Titan.
You blow up the whole field.
Well,
yeah,
no.
You blew up let's go back to the arm. You're shooting the arm, shooting the arm, shooting the arm. Okay, I'm done with the arm. I'm going to target the carapace. I'm shooting the carapace. Bam, 6. It goes off.
Yeah, but
it's dead. And it gets worse, Jack. The Titan is removed as a casualty. The opposing player scores half the normal victory points from the engine kill. So you don't even get full points for it.
Okay, I'm not worried about that part of it. Let's look at the damage kill of it, because on the average Titan, the strongest one, the strength 16 AP2 damage 10 hit any model within 6 inches of the exploding Titan. That's probably, I don't see that being that big of a deal unless you're also having units to sweep in to maybe swarm attack the legs. I don't know if you can do that. Like you said a lot of words.
You can.
What I'm seeing is this by sheer weight of dice, the strength 4 AP dash for the whole entire table. That's what's going to do the damage to both sides of it, especially if, looking at this example of a last cannon team, it's a foot heavy army list. Like that's a lot of damn dice to roll.
Yep.
It only gets worse if it's militia.
Any model within Ew.
Yep.
And a strength 4 AP-damage 1 hit to all other models on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything on the table gets hit when the Titan goes up.
Yeah. Which that's a lot scarier to me than any of the closer ones. Because this by way
that
of
was
dice.
Jack on this.
So that's hard to get, remember, because we have to get through all the way through secondary explosion. We have to get through the hull points. We have to get through the secondary explosions, and then we have to roll the magical 6.
Yeah, no.
So we're 5 dice rolls deep.
I understand, but that is so far the scariest thing I've heard from this army.
That's the magical kill shot, Jack. There are other ways to kill a Titan.
No, I meant for
such as
this through gameplay of both Phil's Goodsy and Phil's Badsies.
Yeah. If you secondary explosion the head, the Titan, the Princeps is mortally wounded, and at each of the controlling players in phases, as the active player from this point onwards, including the one on the turn in which this Titan was shot, on a score of the 4+, the Princeps is alive and no additional effects are applied. On a score of 3 or less, the Princeps dies and the Titan ceases to function. And the opposing player scores victory points for engine kill. So it just, you shot the pilot, it's off. It doesn't nuke.
You didn't kill the pilot with your shot. He's bleeding.
He bled out. Yeah.
Okay.
So, can you keep shooting a Titan with a hit after you give it a headshot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still alive.
Okay, so the way it reads, on a score of 3 or less, the Princeps dies and the Titan ceases to function as if the reactor failure result had been rolled on the Titan critical damage table. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, we did. That's the 20+ on that table. 20+ on a D6, Jack's magical
Okay,
match.
so that's not where it blows up.
Correct. It just it just slumps.
Okay, cool.
Notice I didn't say fell over. I said slump, because fall over is another thing that we're not
another
at yet.
thing entirely.
All right, so we've done the carapace and the arms and the head. So shall we do the legs? Is that what's going to make it fall over?
That's what's going to make it fall over.
Okay.
Titan fall. The Titan becomes unsteady until the end of the controlling player's next turn. If an unsteady Titan is made unsteady again, it collapses. When it collapses, first determine the direction of the fall and the area of destruction. Okay. All models within that range are subject to Strength 14, AP 5, Damage 8 hits.
And the book does say area of destruction for everybody listening at home.
It does.
Yep. Once all hits caused by the Titan's collapse are resolved, the Titan is removed as a casualty. The explosion player scores half the normal victory points from an engine kill.
Fall down, Titan fall down, go boom. Okay, so how do you determine that area for it's smacking into the ground and hurting people?
You have 2 options, which should be mutually agreed on by both players. The quickest option is to make an area of destruction encompass any model that is within 9 inches of the point on the Titan that touched its surface on the battlefield. So basically, it falls down into itself and makes a 9-inch death zone. The more complex.
So is that 9 inches all around, or in one particular?
All around.
Okay.
So it's a 9-inch crater.
Yep.
I follow.
It's a 9-inch sinkhole. The more complex but immersive choice is to first determine the direction of the fall. To do so, the player that made the attack that caused the collapse nominates a direction by placing a dice on the battlefield within a fixed distance from the point on the Titan model that touches the surface of the battlefield. So basically, put a dice where the Titan's feet are.
Okay.
Then scatter that dice d6 inches. A line is then drawn from the center of the Titan's current position to the point where the dice is scattered. All models within 6 inches of the point on the line or the dice are within the area of destruction. So you either collapse into yourself, fun, yay, who cares. The next step is place a dice anywhere on the table within, and then there's another chart, If it's a Scout class Titan, you can be within 10 inches. If it's a Light Titan, within 20. If it's a battle, within 30. Or a Warlord Heavy battle, 35 inches. So you have a 35-inch, 6-inch trough of death.
Technically, it would be a 12 because it's 6 inches on the left and 6 inches to the right.
Correct.
And then like a giant typing falling down. And everything in its path is just like smashed.
Well, the toddler stood on the table and tripped.
And
then fell down, and everything the toddler touched.
All your fucking models.
Oh, God. Okay. I actually think that sounds better than the 9-inch crater.
Hey, now you know why Titan owners typically put their Titans in seatbelts or car seats for transport.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember seeing Nate, miss you, buddy, Nate do that for his Titan, taking it to Adepticon. He would post pictures of that on Facebook. Okay.
We are almost done with Titan rules, I swear.
All right.
No, we're not. We have all the sub rules.
Don't lie to me.
The tactics of desperation. These special rules are made for when units are attacking Titans. They are not made for. These are not special. These special rules only apply to non-Titans and non-Knight subtype or any model with a base characteristics of 10 or more. So basically, when you're mobbing it, you are considered a tactic of desperation. They entirely replace all of the effects of a shooting attack or combat round. Usually this means forfeiting the possibility of inflicting hull points in order to attempt to apply a debilitating effect on the Titan. In all instances, these are intentionally difficult to accomplish without sacrifice, as it should be when confronting the true masters of the battlefield. Swarm Assault. This tactic of desperation may only be used for a unit made up entirely of models with the infantry or paragon type and a movement characteristic greater than 0. When such a unit is engaged as part of a combat only with models that have Titan subtype, this tactic of desperation may be used in the assault phase.
So this is for me and players like me, okay.
Or militia.
Okay.
It replaces all attacks the unit would otherwise make in that round of combat. And it can be used when you declare a charge.
Okay.
Step 1 of 2, so don't freak out. Once a swarm assault has been declared, the player controlling the unit that will make the swarm assault must declare its target: head, carapace, arms, or legs. So if you're choosing to throw chaff units that don't normally fight Titans, i.e. not rolling a chain fist, you can do this swarm assault.
Okay. My unit of veteran despoilers, my world eaters, are charging the Titan.
Don't choose something that you would probably take to fight a Titan. Choose something that you wouldn't normally take to fight a Titan.
My tactical marines are assaulting the Titan.
There you go. Your tactical marines are assaulting a Titan.
Okay.
Are you choosing to focus swarm assault?
I would like to cripple the legs. I want to break the ankles. Make it fall down, go boom.
We want to fall it down.
So you've declared your swarm assault. Step 2, roll for effect. Once the focus of the swarm assault has been declared, the legs in Duncan's instance, a roll must be made to determine the effectiveness of the assault. This roll is an intelligence check made by the player whose unit is making the swarm assault. You have modifiers based on your Titan's crew veterancy, which you buy when you buy the Titan.
Okay.
Let's say
there are also modifiers for which instance you're attacking. And you said, okay, so let's say you're fighting the base crew.
Sure.
Which is
Minoris. It's a -1.
Yeah, no, let's do the Senioris. So the 50-point upgrade on our Warhound. Sure. You get no modifier. So you're taking a base intelligence check.
Okay.
You targeted the legs. So There is another chart for which profile you're targeting. So you said legs, it's no modifier.
Okay.
If you're targeting the head, it's +4. So remember, we said heads are nearly impossible to attack.
Yeah.
Does your swarming unit have any models with light?
No, tactical marines do not.
Are they heavy?
No, they are not.
Okay, light gets -1, heavy gets +2. Anti-grav gets -2 only if you're not targeting the legs. And your movement characteristic is less than 5. You get a +2 to your modifier.
We're not slow, so there's no modifiers. So for me at this point, it would just be a base intelligence check.
Correct.
Okay. We'll pretend I rolled a 4. So I succeeded in my intelligence check.
If the player making the attack declared the focus of the swarm assault as inflict damage... Oh, Lord. There's another 2 charts. Okay. When making the intelligence check, the player may roll an additional dice and discard the highest dice before determining the result of the check. So you're keeping with your 4.
Okay.
So you have decided, I'm going to do a swarm attack. You choose...
I want to hurt the
way they set this... Okay, I apologize, because the way they set this up is you choose to do a swarm assault, roll for the effect, which is your intelligence check, and then choose what you're doing, which could affect your intelligence check. That's kind of dumb. I would say choose to do a swarm attack, choose what you're doing, and then roll the intelligence check.
Right.
Either way, if your check is successful, you are, then the player making the attack may select one of the following effects. Strip the armor. All further attacks made against the target profile uses the exposed armor value to make any armor pin checks. So you just rip the armor off no matter how many hull points there were.
Okay, cool. Makes
Cut
sense.
the hydraulics, legs only. The Titan is made unsteady. Remember falling over earlier?
Yeah.
That's what he wants. He wants it to fall.
Yep. If a Titan has currently been made unsteady by another unit using this tactic of desperation, then the option may not be selected. So you can't throw 2 giant blobs in and hopefully cut the hydraulics twice.
Okay. That's
But you may do this a second time later. Or you could jam the actuator, also legs only. The Titan's controlling player may not move the Titan or change its facing in the player's next turn. Spike the guns. Arms/carapace only. One strategic weapon on the target profile must be selected. The next time the Titan's controlling player chooses to attack with that weapon, roll a dice. On a 1 or a 6, apply a single hit to the Titan's arms as if the weapon had attacked the Titan itself.
Okay.
After this weapon has been used to attack, this has no further effect. Okay. Unless applied again by another swarm attack. Smash the shield emitters, carapace only. For the remainder of the battle, the armor value of void shields granted by this model's Titan's Void Shield Asset Array X special rule is reduced by 1 for each time this result has been applied to the Titan to a minimum of 10.
Okay.
So you're basically making it harder for it to get its
You're blowing up its emitters. Okay,
right.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Cut power conduits. Carapace head arms only. Until the end of the Titan controller player's next turn as the active player, if a move is made with the Titan, then it may not make a shooting attack with strategic weapons. So you're forcing it to move or not, to move or shoot.
Okay, makes sense.
Finally, foul the Auspex. Until the end of the Titan controlling player's next turn, whenever the Titan player chooses to move or attack with this Titan, roll o dice. On a 1 or a 6, the opposing player makes that move, deciding direction and distance moved, or may change the target of a shooting attack to another unit that has 1 or more models within 12 inches of the original target and is within line of sight of the Titan. That's the best one, honestly, apart from cutting the hydraulics if it's already wobbly.
Yeah, because if it's already wobbly, you can make it fall over because it's the second one.
Okay, Duncan, you have passed your intelligence check.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
I have damaged the legs. It is now wobbly.
You have chose to cut the hydraulics.
Yes.
Once the intelligence check has been made and the effects applied, the controlling player of the unit making the swarm assault must make a cool check.
I have failed the cool check.
If the player declared the focus of the swarm assault as escape harm, what the fuck is that?
That's work here, man. I don't know.
Okay, so I didn't declare escape harm. So we can ignore that.
Then when making the cool check, that player may roll an additional dice and discard the highest roll. Okay, so you could roll 3d6 for your cool check and discard it if you chose escape harm.
Yeah, I didn't do that because that's not me.
Yep.
So I failed my cool check. So what happens?
If the cool check is passed, then the unit makes a swarm attack and suffers, or making the swarm attack suffers d6 plus 1, strength 8, AP 4, damage 1/5.
Okay.
If you failed, which you said you did, then the unit making the swarm attack suffers d6 plus 1, strength 8, AP 2, damage 2 hits.
Okay. So either way, I'm taking damage, but because I failed the test, now I take double AP2 that causes damage 2 wounds each. Okay. I mean, it's either way, it's fitting. You're in there running around inside of the Titan, and the Titan's crew, I'm guessing, are fighting back and everything else. So, yeah, makes sense.
That is all of the Titan rules.
So basically, they put a mini game inside of this game when it comes to Titans.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you put a Titan across the board for me, I'm just going to roll some dice, and you're going to tell me what happened.
So that's me. I'm gonna run up and try to punch it in the feet.
I'm gonna punch you in the dick. If you are playing with a Titan, it is recommended that you use what are known as engine kill missions.
Yep.
There are only 2 engine kill missions.
Okay.
Engine kill missions have different types of objectives. The engine kill, if you kill the Titan, depending on the class of Titan, depends on how many victory points you get. If it's a scout, it's 8, and it keeps going up by 2 all the way to heavy battle, which is 15, which goes up by 3 versus normal battle, which was 12. Remember, depending on how you kill the Titan, you may not get all these points.
All right.
Now that's you fighting the Titan. Jack, being the Titan, has different objectives than you do.
Of course he does.
Jack has strategic objectives. Remember that was important earlier because our Titan weapons can usually only target set of strategic objectives?
Yes.
Strategic objectives become active during the course of the battle and can only be scored by Titans. As far as the rules detailed in this volume are concerned, a strategic objective may only be attacked by making a strategic attack, which was the strategic weapons. Strategic attacks require an active player to select an active strategic asset. It's not on the battlefield, it's off the battlefield. Then make a strategic attack targeting it. Each strategic objective will note how many victory points can be scored based on the outcomes of strategic attack. There are 3 strategic objectives. So Jack, being the Titan player, he's choosing to target the macro emplacement.
As one
It
does.
is an armor value 15 vehicle off table. It has infinite hull points. For every 5 hull points Jack scores, Jack gets 5 victory points. Up to 15 victory points. Or Jack could be targeting a communications bunker. This is an armor value 14 vehicle with 20 hull points. When it's reduced to 0 hull points, the Titan controlling player scores 10 victory points. And the opposing player only succeeds reserve rolls on a 6-up for the rest of the battle. Or it's a command post. Armor value 14, 20 hull points. When the command post is reduced to 0 hull points, the Titan player scores 10 victory points, and the opposing player must make a cool check for each of their units on the battlefield that is not engaged in combat. If the cool check is failed, the unit gains the suppressed tactical status.
Okay, so I have my warlord.
How do you know which?
Good, sorry.
So you're probably going to ask, how do I know which one of these I'm targeting?
No, that was not even close to my.
Okay,
but sure. How do I know which one I'm targeting?
You have to roll on another table.
Okay.
What happens if you miss? Do you shoot the neighbor's dog?
It's crewed by 18 agents.
Yeah. It overpenetrated, went through the wall, and the next 10 houses in a line.
So before the game starts, you roll a dice, and basically it tells you which of these targets is your objective.
Okay. And what page
I would always just pick the macro emplacement because it's kind of dumb to take a Titan and then your Titan rolls hot and you screw your opponent even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So each time it fires, it is at the off-table objective. It is scoring points.
If Jack can roll decent, yes.
Okay. So I have my Warhound Titan, and I have double turbo laser destructs on it, right?
Yep.
And I'm shooting at numerical cannon. Let's say I'm hitting 50% of the time.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So that means by the end of the game, if I make it all the way through the game, I have 20 points just from the Titan kill.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
But then the other 2,250 points of my army is doing whatever else it needs to be doing.
Correct.
To score more points.
Correct.
And let's say I play at the top of the turn, and then my opponent plays at the bottom of the turn, and then they take out my legs, so they only get half of my engine kill points.
Yep.
Okay, so the Titan itself can score those points, but cannot score like Vanguard or Slay the Warlord or anything.
Kill points, or count as standing on the table for counting battle points for some of the ZM missions. Yeah, any of that stuff.
So I'm Jack's opponent, and I brought a Warhound Titan too. Can I score points from killing another Titan with my Titan?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a strategic blah, 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 blah.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Titans really only score points off of the strategic objectives or an opposing Titan on the table.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But my supporting army can still score points for Slay the Warlord, holding objectives, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
Or killing other said Titan, yes.
Or killing other said Titan. Okay. This feels like a very odd way to integrate Titans into the game that makes them more of a strategic problem for both players than a strategic asset for either one player. Does that make sense?
So,
because for you to score points off of it, you have to shoot things that aren't on the table.
Correct.
And then for my opponent to score points off of my Titan, he just has to hurt my Titan or kill my Titan.
So what kind of helps this are the two missions. So the missions are, I've just read the objectives so far. The missions themselves, War of the Gods, is a triangle deployment.
And what page is this on?
It's not
88.
in the PDF.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's not in the PDF for some reason.
Okay.
Which one is the second Titan Hill kill?
No, 88.
88's got War of Gods.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Okay.
So, the mission objectives are capture objective markers. There are 3 2-point objectives on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And engine kill, which is kill the Titan and get points.
Mm-hmm.
Secondary objectives are last man standing worth 3 and first strike worth 1. So there is no slay the warlord. There is no battle points or whatever the table quarters are worth. There is none of that stuff. It is literally just objective markers and last man standing and first strike. And then the Titan bonus.
All right.
Mission 2 is called Giant Killer. This has 3 objectives placed in the Defender non-Titan player's deployment zone. One of them is worth 3, 2 of them are worth 2.
Okay.
Titans are deployed within 12 inches of the short battlefield edge that borders the Defender's deployment zone. And this is done, not Dawn of War, but the 24-inch long way table.
For hamburger, not hot dog.
Yep. The attacker places all models not in reserve or area reserves within 24 inches of the short table edge. Mission objectives are capture objective markers and engine kill. Last man standing for 2, first strike for 1. This one seems a lot harder for the Titan player to achieve. Because the opponent is sitting on 7 points every turn.
This does seem a little more difficult.
I could see this if you're running a warlord. If the attacker is running a warlord or something, and they only spend the game shelling that infinite points. Hitting 15 times 5 points.
But at that point, what's the fucking even point of bringing it?
Yeah. I think the point of bringing the Titan at that point is just to say, hey, fuck you, I have a Titan. Thump.
Well, I can do that. It's sitting on the table behind me. Look how pretty it is. And then I don't have to worry about all this other shit.
A child-sized toy can actually participate. That's why.
Can it?
Well, it was present.
Because other than like, let's look at a warlord Titan.
Yep.
You have 2 carapace mounted weapons, which are going to be strategic weapons. 2 front mount defense bolt cannons and a pair of rear mounted defense las cannons. So you're going to have 4 guns that could easily hit stuff on the table, unless your opponent has another Titan.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, the only reason to bring a Titan is if you're talking to your friend, homie, who has a Titan, and you're both going to bring it.
So we might have missed earlier, because I think it was missing from the PDF, was Titan movement. We talked about how they can step over terrain and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you move a Titan, it cannot change facing. So it can kind of step diagonally, but it cannot pivot in place. So changing direction. When pivoting a Titan, reduce the distance it can move in that movement phase by 10 inches. And then you can change your facing it to where you want to be. And this can be done any point during your movement.
That was going to be my question.
So
it can't only be done during the beginning or end.
So a nemesis. a Warbringer can only turn. If it can either move or it can turn. It can't do both.
Yep. And only scout or light battle titans may rush. If you're rushing, you may not change facing.
And what does rushing do to your movement? Double it or something?
It usually adds your initiative characteristic, but instead you add 5 to your movement characteristic.
So, going back to the War Hound Titan, you move 25.
You move 25 in a straight arrow.
Line. Yeah.
Or a diagonal arrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Should you choose to end your movement on top of a model, that model or models must each make a cool check. If the check is failed, they suffer a strength 10 AP2 damage for hit. If they do not have a cool characteristic or have a movement characteristic of 0, they automatically suffer these hits. If they remain in play after suffering such a hit, it may then be moved to the point of the battlefield that is closest to its original position, but not under the Titan. This may cause units to be removed from combat or unit coherency if necessary.
Okay, so quick question, because I haven't heard anything that makes mention of this. My Titan is walking over top of Jack's tanks.
Yep. Jack's tanks would take a cool check, which they do not have.
Correct.
So if that check is failed, then the unit gains the stun tactical status and suffers D3+1 strength 10 AP2 damage for hits.
So since they cannot fail that check,
so
they just take it.
They just take it.
Okay.
He basically takes the fucking rhino.
If you pass the check, you do not gain the stun status and suffer a single hit with this profile.
So yeah, he's basically just soccer kicking shit out of the way.
Yep. So that might be the reason you rush your Warhound. If it's getting closer to death, you just say kamikaze and just put the pedal to the metal and run 25 inches over as much as you can, kicking everything on the way. If you move react away from the Titan or out from under it, you do not count as having to take these checks.
All right. Some of this sounds like they came up with the rules for the Titans for Titans separately than they came up with the main rules for 30K and just kind of tried to bolt it in there.
At the same time of trying not to make them just 75 hull point vehicles, yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like they were like, these are cool ideas. Let's develop this separately from this and then just stick it in there.
I think the problem is that we got rid of a lot of the crunchier vehicle damage table stuff, like weapon destroyed, weapon stun, things like that. Yeah. And that they still thought, well, if you can't blow Titan's weapon off, what use? We can't just say the Titan can't shoot or the Titan's pinned. So we have to come up with this way to fix that. And the way they decided to fix that was you have to shoot the shit out of this thing before you can think about breaking a gun. Then you break the gun, and then you can either do whatever else you want. I think you're right. I think that this was an add-on effect to the way they changed 3rd edition.
Question.
So, yeah, go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say, how does I've not played Titanicus.
That was gonna be my next question as well.
Say, how do these rules relate in any way to like how Titanicus is played? Are they
very
similar?
Different.
Yeah, very different. Titanicus plays almost like BattleTech, where you're managing heat and you're managing repair rolls, things like that.
And then to play Titanicus Light, doing the Imperialis Titan Death rules, it's still completely different.
Okay. So yeah,
in that version, you don't manage heat. It's much more enjoyable to play, I would say, unless you're really into the nitty-gritty heat management and all that stuff. But it's still very different from what we're seeing in a regular 30K game with Titans.
So like these Titan rules literally are just straight out of fucking the cornfield out in left field. Like
pretty much, yeah. We didn't go over things like the Titan Void Shields.
Well, yeah.
Titan Void Shields have array X, where X is the number of Void Shields they have. Whenever you score a penetrating, all Titans start with the Void Shield being armor 13. At the end of each turn, in the effects subphase, you can roll to bring them back based upon your Titan veterancy status. So Minoris, the free guy, gets it on a 6 up. Everybody else gets it on 5, 4, 3. The Warlord has a Titan War Horn.
Yep.
Which is a once per battle effect.
Is that where you sound your horn to scare people?
Yeah. It used to be only the Chaos Titans got them originally in like 2.0, and now it's only Warlords on both sides.
Oh. Any model that has any unit that has a model within 24 inches of any part of this Titan, once the special rule is activated, must reduce their leadership, willpower, cool, and intelligence by X.
For how long?
It's just one turn. But if you move out from that 24 inches during your turn, you lose this.
It's like Fear of the Dark, but instead of on a single librarian, it's on a 20-inch tall Titan.
Okay,
it does not stack with Fear, which is good because I could see Night Lords players going, "I'm gonna bring a Warlord."
It seems interesting. It doesn't seem fun, if that makes sense.
I think it's the type of thing that was going to take like 4 or 5 games to get down. But those 4 or 5 games are going to be so crunchy, unless you're doing it constantly, I don't think you're going to like it.
Yeah.
I will say this, the only person I've talked to that has had the opportunity to play this out is Gabe. And he actually enjoyed where they're at now with the Titan rules as opposed to what we've seen in the past.
The problem is I don't know if Gabe used all the rules.
Fair.
From what I saw with Gabe, they were not charging the Titan because it was in such a far corner, so they didn't get into all the suicide attacks, all the weird targeting and combat things. They were just doing the shooting damage, which is fine. I think half of this crap you can ignore if you're not combating it. If you're just shooting it, it is basically just a vehicle that you have a couple extra tables to roll on after you've damaged it.
Okay. So, again, I kind of think this comes down to I'm kind of agreeing with Jack. It sounds interesting, but not like something I'm really wanting to do.
Like I would not tell somebody that no, I would not play against their Titan. It would not be my first choice and my 6 games a year I get to play. If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, just think, like Josh, or what's his name, from South Texas. He used to run Warhounds all the time with his Trader Guard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
John, hell, I watched the game where John played against one, and they literally blew it up on the first turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it did take 12 Predators shooting at it, but yeah.
Well, but still, first turn.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know that I could do that now.
No, I don't think you could. Not on the first.
Most Titans also have Repair Crew X, where X is however many hull points you can restore.
Yeah, like
it just regenerates lost hull points. Yeah.
Warlord's D6 plus 1. Warbringer is D6. A Warhound is D3.
So what that is that's regrowing lost hull points.
Yep.
If a section is crippled and you regrow it to 1, it is no longer crippled.
Okay.
So Lieutenant Dan got new legs. Got it.
Yeah, that's
Wheels. Have y'all seen Alan Bowerly's Warhound that he built that's on a tank, like a remote control tank chassis?
No.
Don't think I have.
Yeah, he actually will drive it across the board.
Oh,
like in the Titan battles. It's like on a Panzer chassis or something like that. Like a Warhound on the top and on a Panzer chassis.
That sounds an awful lot like a gun tank, and I don't mix my Gundam with my 30K.
Okay.
Yeah, that does.
Is there any other takeaways that we need to worry about this, or is this a good introduction to?
I think it would be fun for like events.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're doing the Slay the Warlord event, and
Yeah.
everyone's going to bring 3K, and it's going to be 3 versus 2 or something like that, which is what we did at Texas Open. As long as you're not getting into combat with it with crap units, which is where you're going to use up most of the oddball strip the armor type rules, I think it's fun. I think when you get, it's kind of like Necromunda. The more crap you want to add onto this, we got a lot of crap to add onto it. If you want to start adding goofy shit, we can add goofy shit. But if you just want to shoot it, okay, it's like a normal tank, except once you start killing it, it dies funnier.
I'm not really. I see where this can be fun. I'm just not really seeing where I'm going to see this being played a lot, because it seems like a lot of people are wanting to kind of play less rules heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Titans. You already don't see a lot of that being done.
Yeah.
I could see an event where like everyone brings a Titan. In that case, you just ignore the off-table crap. You
Like
only
the
worry
big
about
lamb.
Yeah, or something smaller, but the same type of thing. Like we're playing a 5,000 point event. Bring what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get paired off, and then you take 4.5 hours to play a game and have fun.
Which is, in the end, the entire point of the game.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, at this point, have we kind of hammered as much about the Titans as we can hammer?
Pretty much. So most of the Titan guns are going to be free. You choose what they are. Most of them are strategic weapons for the big guns themselves. Most Titans can buy crew. They start at BS3 for free. With the Warhound, you can go up to BS4 for 50 points, or BS5 for 100 extra points. And that obviously will change what those different charts do depending upon your veterancy or rank.
All right, then. Well, shall we throw some event shout-outs out?
Now that Jack's mind is totally meltdown stage, he's just like,
yeah, Jack suffered a critical reactor explosion.
took out the entire table.
That's the one that Jack saw and was like really happy with.
Yeah, he read that reactor explosion after kicking off a carapace and was like, I like that.
I think that's the most entertaining option, outcome of any of that other stuff you have on there. Even the sliding across the table. I think the table wide, everybody takes a roll, and you're hoping that you're playing against a militia player, so they're rolling 100 dice.
700 dice.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm going to be at Warzone Houston, September 25th through the 27th. We'll have goodies to give away and posters and other stuff.
Where can people find out more information about that other than our event channel?
I'm Googling their website right now. WarzoneHouston.com. Makes it easy.
Nice.
And Gabe obviously has his Word Bearers Raffle Army going off there too.
Cool. Barbara, you have any to shout out?
I have not heard back about the change of date for the 2-day event in Grand Rapids. I'm still doing mine in Lansing at Evolution Games on October 10th and 11th. And I think that's all I got up here.
Okay. Jamie?
The Bama Heresy guys have their event coming up on the 29th and 30th of this month up in Madison. They've posted up pictures of some of the swag and the trophies. It looks nice and hot and pretty badass. You know, normal stuff you would expect from Christopher and Blake. I don't know if the new venue up there is going to be open yet, but they're working on it. And that place is going to be absolutely gargantuan. Like somewhere between like 150 to 200 tables worth of space. So it is, and they're adding a third themed Airbnb to it as well. I mean, that place is going to be absolutely gargantuan.
It'd be like gaming mecca.
Yep. And like multiple areas, so like you don't have to, like if there's a Heresy event going on, there's still room in other sections of the new building where they can run other stuff too, or like side events. So, but yeah, it's coming up. That event is coming up again. It's like the 29th and 30th, I think, of August. I don't think they've announced anything further beyond that. They usually do something in November as well, but nothing's official yet. So, that's the only one I know of down here.
All right. I know about 3 things. Number one, Nova. Our friend Ben Marsh is running the Heresy events there. That's September the 2nd through September the 6th this year. Tickets are on sale. You can get them through novaopen.com and go play and hang out with cool people and see cool things. Our friends up in Cincinnati with the Bolters at Dawn group, they are running their event. They're running Heresy events every Sunday right now. I know about that. And they're a big event, BolterCon. That is, for some reason I can never remember the dates on it. It's November 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. And there's Heresy pretty much every single day. The big Heresy stuff that for non-Legion Imperialis is Thursday, which is the 12th for ZM, and regular Heresy for Saturday and Sunday. It's all cool stuff. We're sending posters up there to them to give away. They'll have swag from us. They'll have other cool stuff to give away. And if you're in the area, it'll be a local cool thing. Give them a look. You can find more information from them at boltersatdawn.com and boltercon.com. And also there's Adepticon, which is where we're running some stuff because stuff is cool.
Within 227 days?
Yes. Less than 9 months away is Adepticon. It will be cool. We will be there. Unless Jack gets screwed by work again, then he might not be there. But all the rest of us should be there, I believe.
I have fun stories to tell you after this.
Oh, I look forward to hearing this. And as alluded to earlier, there is, as of yet, no date set up for the Kentucky 30K stuff that may or may not happen. But if and when it does, we will let you know. And we'll see what's going on.
Addendum.
Addended.
I have figured out the difference between the word. Remember when I said, what is escape harm?
Yes.
When you're making your focus or your cool check, before you make your cool check, you decide whether you want to inflict damage on the Titan or to escape harm.
Oh.
All this does is if you choose to inflict damage, you get to roll an extra D6 when you're making your initial focus check for effect.
Okay.
So it just makes it slightly easier
For you to hurt shit.
Which means you're going to take more damage when you get stomped on, like when you get stuck in the gears later.
All right, then. Don't forget, everybody, the new Army 2026 Army Challenge Round 4 is still going on. That will be ending entrance-wise on September the 5th. And we should be doing our drawing for the winner on that round on September the 6th. So good luck to everybody who has already joined. And if you haven't joined, jump on in. It's not hard, and it's free. And you get cool stuff.
I suppose we have another giveaway to figure out because I missed the drawing for our 2-week hobby challenge.
Ooh, should we just go ahead and do that next week since we don't have the list pulled up?
Or you could give me 20 seconds to pull up the list.
Oh, okay, that works too.
So I've got the normal list pulled up, and I'm adding our extra entrance.
Sounds good.
We had one extra entrance in Space Coast Skeep.
Yay, Skip.
Our random number generator is going to go from 1 to 40.
Cool.
40.
40, 40, Jody.
9.
9, Jody.
Brian Byers is our winner.
Yay for Brian. What did Brian win?
Brian won a selection of tools, so I will be mailing that out to him shortly.
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Wait, he lives close to you. You could just drive, right?
Oh, shit. John actually probably lives closer to me than he does to Brian, and Brian's in his same state.
Yep.
Well, at this point then, everybody, shall we go ahead and ask Jamie to tell Brian to tell John to take it away?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the 182nd episode of the Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast. My name is John, and tonight I've been joined by...
Not Dave.
Duncan.
That was Brian. That was Duncan.
Jack.
That was Jack.
Jamie.
And that was Jamie. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on this, the brain-meltingest of episodes.
I need a week
Always
off
remember to stay... Always remember to stay accountable to yourselves, yourselves, your buddies, and your hobby. And we'll talk to you next time.
And you're coring out the center of a Titan to damage everything on a board. Engine killed. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe and see ya.